Hello, welcome to Greenhat-Redbeard Adventures. This video is going to be about my multi-tool, which is my EDC multi-tool, which is the Leatherman Wave Plus. Now, for those of you who don't remember or simply don't know what EDC stands for, that means everyday carry. And I gotta say, without a doubt, for the past year now, I've had this for a year now, and I gotta say that I've used this multi-tool far more than any EDC tool that I've ever carried in the past. And that includes my Leatherman Sidekick that I used to carry before this one too. I used to have an EDC folding knife, Swiss Army tool, other multi-tools, as well as the Leatherman Sidekick. And I got upgraded to this one here just this last year, right around now of last year. So I've had this for about a year now, and I swear I've used this more times than anything else before. This is unbelievably useful. This Leatherman Wave Plus is just absolutely amazing for me because I use almost every tool on it. And not only just for I use it for a whole variety of things, aside from the obvious, I just open up packages and boxes. I've also used it for fine wood carving slingshots, help with making slingshots as well as doing all sorts of other, outdoor stuff as well as indoor stuff as well. So it's made of stainless steel. So we'll start off with our regular specs. I got a tape measure here for it. So the thickness of this is roughly 3/4 of an inch. When it's in the closed position from top to bottom, it is 4 inches, and the width wise is that looks like about 1.25 inches when it's closed. When it's opened up, top to bottom becomes 6.25, and you measure from the outside, that makes it out to about roughly 2.25. So let's start off with the basic tools that are on here. I think it was about 18 or 19 tools, somewhere in that general range, I think it was. But let's get started. On the outside, which is something I really like, is the 4 tools that are outside. We start off with our basic knife. The knife length is roughly 2.9 inches. That's what I read about online. And right out of the packaging, it's razor sharp. And not just with this, all the other knife, the saw, it's razor sharp right out of the box. I love that. And I use this all the time. Obviously, it's a little bit, the blade, you can't really see it too well, but it's a little bit dirty. There's some sticky pine sap that was on it from something I was carving over the weekend. So you got your basic first knife. And on the same side, you can see there's a little hook right there. You got to pull that out, and that's the saw. Again, the saw I use quite often as well. Saw is razor sharp, very effective, really love it. And of course, there's the little locking mechanism right there where you got to push it inwards to fold it back down, and that goes for all the tools on the outside. So that's on the first side. When you turn it around the other side, this one here, and you're also going to notice that with the regular knife, you notice how right here it's smooth. But on this side, you're going to notice there's like little notches right there. So the smooth side is the regular blade, while the other side with those little notches there, that's the serrated edge knife right there. So you can see that's the serrated edge. And that also is very razor sharp. And I've actually cut myself a couple of times on this one here. And that's razor sharp right there. Really, really sharp. I love that. So there's that serrated edge, and on this side here, again, on this side here, it's not like a little lever there, but it's a little hook there. And on this side is a file. So you got the wood file, and you got the really, really rough side, and then the really smoother side right here. Good for shaving wood, making fine little dust pile, so you get your fire going in a hurry. And I've used that quite a few times. I love that. So let's open her up. And of course, you got your standard, pliers right there. If you look carefully enough, you can see that right there. And on this side is where you got the wire cutters right there, and it's nice bladed wire cutters, and they're replaceable as well. You can always contact Leatherman and get those replaced. That's also a cool little feature. We'll get started. Oh, before I forget, If you fold like flat like this, you'll notice that you see those little numbers and notches right there. That's a ruler right there. On one side you got your millimeters, the other side you got your inches, and it is in fact accurate. From one end to the other, 8 inches. It is quite accurate. I've checked it with a tape measure before, so it is quite effective. On this side here, the first side, let's open that up. It's a little dusty because I haven't pulled it out in a little while, but first off, you got your little Phillips bit. This comes out, by the way. Pull it out. So on one side is the little Phillips, and then the other side is this nice little flathead, little tool right there. And it doesn't just flop out. I actually have to yank that out to get it out. So there's that first tool, 2 tools right there. And then on the other side, there's your can opener right there. And I also use that quite often as well for when I've got cans, food, when I'm out in the woods, and gonna use that for meals and such. Next up, on the next side here, this is a nice, very sharp pair of scissors. And I actually do, in fact, use this quite a bit, in fact, especially when it comes to slingshot making. It's really sharp and it works really good. I love that. It's not like some sleazy little scissors where it's just gonna fall apart on the first cut or nothing. And it basically opens up like that. And speaking of which, before I forget, there's the button here as well as on the button here. So right now it's in the lock position. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to full close on you. It's on a lock. So the button is on the back end right here. You got to push that in order to close it. So, and that goes for all the tools. If you open it up, the button's on the back side right here. You got to push this one inwards, and see there, that there's the lock. So let's open this up again. So this is for your glasses. This is probably, I'm sorry to say, it's the most useless tool on here. And it's for your glasses to, repair your glasses for opening and closing. I don't have glasses, so it's kind of on the useless side for me, but it's still there. And it's really nice that they thought of that. And then the next tool here, of course, you got your, heavy duty flathead screwdriver right there. And you open it up and, sorry. Yep, that's what it is right there. So you got those 3 tools on this side. You got those 2 tools on that side. Again, there's the interchangeable. Same with the glasses one. They can pull that out and switch it around to a flathead versus a Phillips. You got the good pliers right there, nice and sturdy. The whole thing is very sturdy. It's very solid. And if you have seen on my Instagram page, as well as on my Greenhat-Redbeard page for Instagram, you would have seen me also use this with a stick in here, an elastic band, and I've actually used this like a slingshot and actually tied bands onto the ends here and shot slingshot ammo with it with a band set tied on here, and it works great for it. So it's tough, it's durable, it's got a nice 25-year warranty with Leatherman, and honestly, in my personal opinion, like as I said before, I have used this EDC. I carry this literally every single day. The only time I don't wear it is obviously when I'm sleeping and when I'm working, because I'll leave this in my pocket, and while I'm working, I'll use a different multi-tool entirely. But every single day I have it on me in my pocket or in my little, or recently, I made this leather sheath here. This is actually for a folding knife that I lost some time ago. I made some modifications to this sheath so it can accompany this multi-tool. But the multi-tool does in fact come with its own sheath. The sheath is of decent quality. It's not the greatest, but it's not bad either. It's of decent, reasonably good quality. Unfortunately, I did lose it some time ago because I don't really use the sheath very often. But so that's why I made this recently and started using it. It's leather too. The one that it comes with is not leather, so decent quality. So this is use it literally out of 7-day week. I would probably use at least 4 or 5 days out of the week for one thing or another. I love this thing, love it to death, use it all the time. This is Leatherman Wave Plus. Stay safe, have fun, see you around.